Good evening. I didn't bring up more tissues, which is going to be bad for me. Hopefully this will work. Pardon me. I tend to be a bit more sniffly after eating, just at dinner. Anyway, tonight is Saturday. What did I do today? I ran, and then did some riding. Anyway, tonight's goal is to get some animations. I have some animations I've been kind of tweaking with Selden here. So I'm on the idle. So this is the idle so far. This is some motion capture. I think the idle's a little bit too extreme. I might want to slow that down. Also, his feet, these are sliding. I've cleaned most of this up. Of course, I can do an idle by hand, but I like the motion capture because I can get a little bit more personality in there. The downside is our motion capture system is not the best system. It's better than the online nonsense, but the sensors are kind of magnetic. And they can be a bit goofy. You can see like his foot's a bit weird. But overall, I think this is fine. This foot needs to come back some. So that's the goal here. Let me plug in this device, and I'll put the stuff on, so if you pop in, I can actually know that you're there. There we go. Alright, so one of the things, I'm using a reference. The reason I'm using a reference is I can always update the reference, and I get the most up-to-date version of the rig. The downside about using a reference is I get a lot of the garbage that's in that file, and it tends to rename everything. I'm going to try to pull the name out, but usually it won't let you on the reference file. So, for example, to remove all of the Selden bind post simple rig stuff, to pull that off, maybe go ahead and just grab this one. Modify, I can go down to search and replace names, and I'll just do it on the hierarchy. I can search for this. The part that I want to remove is up here, and then I think it's \n for remove, and then apply. Now it either hasn't worked or it did work, but then there's a glitch, so I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't update right away, so I'm going to close this and reopen it. Doesn't look like it went. It might not because I'm on a reference. Some things are kind of forbidden. Yeah, it says replaced 0 names here. Let me try /n. I just put like an L here. Yeah, so it's because I'm on a reference. I probably can't do it on the reference here. But that's annoying. Anyway, what I need to do is open these up, and I gotta make sure I hit show and show. It's just hard to see everything. Everything's like all one gobbledygook of names. I can solidify this by I I can take the reference, the main reference down here. I can go to reference and do import. That'll pull the entire thing in. And then I can strip everything out. But then I lose the fact that it's a reference. So if I go import, suddenly all this is here. And now I probably can remove and replace all the file names. So I'll just do all, modify. I'll just check all and do, again, I think it's \n. Maya does not always update that. I think that's a read glitch. So I'm going to take this one, Control D to duplicate. You can see that the new one here has the updated names. So it means that it it did strip it out. It's just not updating, which is annoying. Anyway, I'm going to reopen the file because I don't want to. I can't change the names, so there's no point in doing that. I also don't want to break the reference. So I'll just deal with what I got. Alright, so I'm going to open these. Make sure I hit show. And what I need to do, I haven't set this up to where I can just do one leg at a time. I really should. Right now when I switch the FK to IK rig, it changes the whole rig. It would be very handy to just grab a leg and switch one leg or the other. That way the rest of the rig can be one way. But that's effort, so I'll just switch to IK. He's going to go back into his T-pose. Things that I will match. Pelvis to pelvis. So pelvis control to the, it's hard to tell, FK pelvis. I'm going to match the position. I'm not going to match rotation, but I will match there. Actually, let me see what happens if I match rotation. Oof. I wonder why. They should have the same structure. This one is this way. That control is set to world, that's why. So I won't be able to match the rotation on that. This is why matching the orientations of the controls on the two different rigs is important. Alright, but I will take the foot control and I will find the FK foot control, which is going to be the ankle. So where is left ankle? Here's right ankle, left ankle. Let's match that. Let me see if I match rotations. That got goofy, so I won't match the rotations. That must mean that the Well, no. That is set to world. Where's the ankle control? That is not set to world. You can see the headache for that. I think I went through and set a world offset in here, but I don't know where it's at. It's buried under this stuff. So, it's whatever. The rough position is good enough. Let me take the back foot, and I will go with the right ankle. Hi, Jerry. If you hear a bit of exhaustion in my voice, it's because she exhausts me. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I kind of want to see both rigs, but right now they're set up that if one is on, the other one's invisible. So I will open up where is the skeleton? I want the FK skeleton and the IK skeleton. I'll make both of those visible. Let's do X-ray joints. Okay. This will help me match. This one, I'll match this way. Now, because of how high the pelvis is, I'm going to get these knees bent the way they are. I really want this to be lower. Alright, where's this knee at? This one needs to be this way. Alright. I'm going to match the translation of this wrist control. To the other wrist control. Where's left wrist? Left wrist. Can I match the rotation? It looks like the rotation on that is probably okay. Let's switch between. The rotation on the wrist came out okay. I need to be able to match this elbow. What do I match the elbow to? I can try and match into the other elbow control. I don't think that's the case, though. There should be... I should have made a match. I did not name it matching. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Where is, if I open up on the FK skeleton. Nothing on the FK skeleton. Where's the FK main control? There's FK main. FK controls. There might be an elbow. Am I on FK or IK? FK main control. Here's IK. IK. And I want to match with, let me collapse that down, we'll open up, whoops. Like, this makes it real hard to see, so I can't, I would just think under general controls, there should be an FK and an IK. There they are. And then head controls are separated. Hand controls are separated. Okay. So I have the FK controls. We'll open those up. There should be a locator in here. Yep. Left ankle locator FK. That's what I should be using to match with. And there's that one on the other ankle. Is there one for the wrist? No. If I don't have one on the wrist, that means the wrist should be safe to match. And it did match when I tested it over here. What about the elbow? Elbow should have something. Let me open up the hand controls. Nothing on the hand controls. I can eyeball it to kind of get the better position, but it's fine. Let me get this hand. I'm going to go down to, let's open these up again. Left wrist, right wrist. Match translations. Can I match rotation? I cannot. So I will undo that, and I will just eyeball it. Wow. This elbow. I thought I built a match control for the elbow, but I guess not. Alright, for the torso, it's so jank. So really all I really care about on this is matching the legs. So for this leg, I'm going to key that. For that one, I will key it. 200. I will key and then key. I'm going to go to 100. Doesn't look like a whole lot's changed on 100, but I will go ahead and just key both of those. The whole goal is to keep the foot kind of planted as the character moves. So from position 1, his foot's really far out. So I want to move his foot back. Oh, that kind of glitched on me. And I'm going to put the foot a little bit more forward. The back foot, I don't think is holding his weight correctly. So pelvis should be oriented kind of like this. Okay. Now to match that pelvis, what can I do to match that? If I match the transform for that, whoops, pelvis to pelvis. Where are you? Okay. I think that's pretty close. And then the angle of the pelvis. What I should, of course, do on the rig, because I need to have these, is to have a offset that I can attach to. Since I didn't do that already. Okay. But I think this is pretty close on the pelvis. So here, I'll hit that one, and on the last one, I'll hit that one. And then here, on 100, I need to match the pelvis again, so this one to, where are you at on pelvis? We'll match the transform. We've established that I can't match rotations because I'm a bad rig builder. But that's pretty close to where that needs to be. Okay. So as this is happening, what I want actually for this foot is I don't want this foot to really move all that much. I want that foot to be here. And really the feet need to be planted the whole time. So this one needs to be here, same place. And the back foot needs to be in that place. So as he is being updated, the feet are in the right spot. And you can see now with the hip changing, that should be more accurate. So let's save that, because Maya loves to crash while you're doing this. Okay. So what I can do is I can bake the controls of the pelvis and the hips, knees, you know, kind of down the line. So basically bake the lower body and then bake the upper body. Which I may do. I need to just make sure things visually are going to be accurate, but where is, let's go to skeletons. Where are you at here? Skeletons, skeletons, skeletons. Get my root skeleton. Where are we at here? I need all of the... So I need the pelvis. I don't care about the upper spine. I'll just ignore that. So pelvis, and then I need the hips. Collarbones, pinky fingers. Pinky, pinky, pinky. Okay. Left hip through toe. Right hip through toe. I'm going to go up to animation. We'll go down to key. Where's my big simulation? Hierarchy, whatever is selected. Keyable. What do I want these to be? Sampled by 1, I think, is okay. Theoretically, if I select a different one, these haven't been baked. Okay. So now I'm going to go and switch this to FK. And on the FK, assuming that I like everything that Selden is doing on the FK, looks like he's probably okay. Gonna go and select everything else. So I'll get all of these. Those I don't think matter. So everything except for the legs. Right, the thing that I'm leaving off. Oh, those are separate roots. I don't need those. Right collar and rib. We'll go through the list, just make sure I have all of those. Left collar and rib. And the thing that I don't want to do in here is the pelvis. Okay, now I should be able to bake the simulation. Again, doing selected and bake. Okay. Let me save this one off as baked. And then what I will do is I'm going to export just the skeleton here. So Selden's root. File, let's do an export selection. This will be Selden idle. And we want the animation to be checked. And then bake. And then export. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open a new scene. Well, don't save from here. File. Let's go ahead and import. Idle. So this should just be the skeleton. And let's see how this is running. If I play this, we should have Selden, and his feet should be planted. So that worked out. It is a bit fast, but I can slow it down. I can do it either in Unreal or I can do it here. Oh, I don't know exactly how fast I want that animation, but what I do want is to make sure that this skeleton matches the other skeleton. So let me go ahead and open up the bind pose. I don't want the mocap bind pose. Let's go to the standard. And then under the Selden rig, under skeletons, it is Selden underscore root. So I need to change the prefix to match the name here. So Selden underscore and then whatever the name of it is. So we'll go back to new. I'll re-import this. So let me grab this hierarchy, modify, search and replace. It says it replaced 0 names, but if I duplicate this, it's all there. However, the duplicated skeleton won't do anything. I wonder why the refresh is not happening. Trying to think of the simplest way. I can export the animation as a track file and put it back onto him. That's one way to do it. Looking for the phone. Phone's right here. Let me see if there's a way. I vaguely recall a simpler way of swapping out the namespace. This seems familiar. Let me go to, is there a namespace editor? Yeah. Let me remove this one. Killed it. I murdered it. I guess I'll merge with root. There's the simpler way. Oh, welcome to the stream. Just cleaning up the namespace. I can export that animation now. So I'll just re-export over itself. And we will jump in and load it, see how it's playing. If that works, then we can work on the transition for Selden turning around. And then maybe a walk cycle. We'll see how that goes. The walk cycle came out kind of goofy, so I may just recapture it or do one by hand. It depends on how much I lose by trying to fix what's broken. How's your night going? Do anything special? Jer Bear is sleeping on my shoe. While that's booting up, where is the animation instance? So that is an air, and I have a speed. Where is the animation instance? Nothing there, okay. So for animations, I'll go to Selden, and let's pull in the idle. Okay, so for the skeleton, we're using Selden's bind post skeleton. And we don't have any skin to worry about, so we'll get the import time on that. There we go. So how's that looking? It looks a lot nicer in here. And his feet are planted, they're not going anywhere. And you should be looking forward. You know, he does have an eye texture, but it's creepy to have the white eyes. Kind of like a Raiden. Need to adjust the texture to take off this plasticky look, though. Alright, so that's here. A new folder. I'll do this one as facing right. And one for facing left. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. And then default facing direction for him. From here, he should be facing to the right. And then facing left will be this way. And so if I duplicate this, what gets kind of crappy about doing it this way is on the re-imports, make sure that the source file is correct. Yeah, as long as the source file address is correct, it should be okay. And this will be facing right. So for the right goes here. For the left, it'll go there. And inside the left, all I want to do, we want to go into here. Either go down to the orientation where it says import do the import rotation as 180. Actually, let's do it as minus 90. And then I can re-import animation. So he should be facing away from me when he's done. No, 180. There we go. And I may have done this backwards. It's whatever. Well, I'll know when I put it into the character if which one's correct. So I'm going to go to... let me go down to my C++ classes here. I'll create... Whoops. Components. Where is my animation instance? I should have an animation folder, but that's whatever. We'll create a blueprint from this. And this is going to be Selvin NMBP under blueprints. I'll just drop it there. Okay. Let's get a bind pose. State machine. I'll leave it as it is, and we'll just plug it in. I'll rename it if I need to. On the entry, we just want a state. We'll do idle. Here is him facing left. And let's hook that up. Blueprints. Let's make the let me rename that. And then that guy. Cool. For the actual character, I need to make sure that's loaded onto him. So for the animation class, we want that to be Selden's. Okay. So when I spawn in, Selden should be facing to the right. He is. So left is facing to the right. Right is... Ooh, did it just freeze? No. His animation just isn't looping. That's easy enough to fix. We're going to go back to... Where are we at? let's close this. We'll go back to the animations. Facing right. I have left in the right folder, and I have right in the left folder. I'll just rename them. So this one is facing to the right. And this one is facing to the left. There we go. Other animation blueprints. So I'm going to try a thing. Let's see. So in the past I had to make two separate state machines, which is annoying because you're doing the same thing twice. I want to do it to where I'm only making one state machine. So if I can flip the character in code, that would be nicer. But they do have a blend space, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use that. So here's the animation blend space. I don't know what to call it yet, so just leave it as that. And then in here, we have our left and our right. So for the horizontal axis, we'll do this as orientation. Orientation rate, delta. We'll make this one direction. Let's do a min value of -1 and a positive value of 1. Let's pick a direction. We'll do left. There we go. I mean, I could do a blend space per animation. Alright, so then the value that comes out of this has to be from Selden, and then I have to pass in his facing direction whenever I hit a button. So for right now, let's save this. I'm gonna jump back into the code. Let's stop. I need a begin play. So animation instance. Oh, what is it called in here? Maybe you don't have a begin play. Maybe it's initialize animations. What's the equivalent here? Function definition begin play not found. Declaration override does not work. What is the equivalent in here? Because they had to be fancy and change the names. So one is update animation, and the other one is it might be initialize. UE5. Yeah, so it's called initialize animation. One second. Where is the wiki? Those are the outputs. That's Blueprint API references. I want C++ API references. All right, so montage. Blueprint begin play. If I want to create a begin play in Blueprint. Blueprint initialize animation. But there should be a regular initialize animation. Montage blend. Looks like that's the only one. I'm going to just try initialize animations without Blueprint. Initialize animation. If it comes from the parent class, it should be a virtual void. If it does not come from the parent class, I can do it this way. But when would it get called? And does initialize animation take any parameters? This one says no. I mean, I can do this one. But I don't know if I have to call it in Blueprint. I think I have to call it in Blueprint if I call it as a, if I declare it as a U function. So we'll just do it as, let's do virtual. But that's not happy about that. Tell you what, as much as I like Unreal, I don't appreciate their documentation. They have a huge lack of documentation. Let me go into the animation instance and I'll just take a look at what you got. Let's see, initialize. Let's see, for the API we've got Blueprint initialize, we have Blueprint update animations, which takes in a delta. Blueprint post evaluations. Blueprint linked animation layers. That might be useful. Can transition signature. That's interesting. Play on slot. Stop it. Slot animation is playing. Blueprint. I mean, I don't need anything too fancy here. All I really want is to have a reference to the character and pass in the C++ values, speed, velocity, all that stuff. I can get it off of the, I can really handle all that over on the Blueprint side, but I want to make sure that if I need to have a coded version of it, that I can do it in C++. So whatever is going to be visual, I'm going to handle over there. But some things I know I'm going to want to modify. So looks like those are initialize group layers. So it is a void initialize animation. Do I want to use it? There's update animation. There's basic. Okay, so update animation, code pass updates, it advances animation states, returns whether or not the actual update should be called immediately. See, this wasn't listed in the documentation up there. Initialize animation takes in a defer root motion, initialize animation set to false. Pre-updated link instances. Called on the game thread before update animation is called on linking instances. I'm trying to think of what would be a linked instance. If more than one thing share the same animation file? Maybe. Parallel update animation, run update animation work on a worker thread. Post update animation called after the updates are completed. Dispatches notifies. Okay. Called on the game thread pre-evaluation. I think I'm going to run this one. We'll see if I'm even allowed. It might not let me. Oh my god, are you allowed? So I'm going to pop him here. This is going to be, since I'm overriding. Although it's not marked virtual in the definition, so I might not be allowed. Function definition for initial is not found. Member function declared with override does not override a base class member. Weird. I mean, I'll call it. And then from here, I need to get a reference to Selden. So references, let's get a class AW, and that's going to be the player. And I will set a U property for him. I'll do this as read write. And meta allow private access. Well, I mean on that one it doesn't matter. Did I not get a reference here? I think I did. And this is in the references. Got to make sure we have the player, and I want to be able to set it in both here or there. The way I'm going to grab it will be from here. And it is try get pawn owner, I believe. So try get pawn owner. What are the rules? Player is equal to try get pawn owner. Nothing on try get pawn owner. But what do I have to provide you with? It's not taking in any parameters. Use skeletal mesh component. Gets the owning component and the skeletal mesh component. And then if the actor is the owner component, you want to get the owner. And then it returns a cast a pawn. Owning actor. Well, Selden is, by definition, a pawn. Do I have to cast to him as a pawn? Let's see. Yeah, cannot. A value of pawn cannot be assigned to an entity type of Selden. My brain says yes I can, the code says I cannot. Okay, so what I'm looking at here suggests that I should be using the virtual void native initialize animations. So I'll change this up to virtual void. I'll do native initialize animations, and then I'll call the override. And that seems to go through. And then I also want the virtual. That's what I'm saying about the documentation not being very good. And this should be a float. Okay. I'll get rid of this one. All right, on the initialize, I need to get, yeah, so I'm gonna need to cast. So I still need to try get pawn owner, try get pawn owner. Since that has to go to a pawn, I'll do an a pawn. I'll do and then I'll say if how do I want to do this? I think I can do it that way. Warning, this is log temp. You're a jerk. So by calling this, I should be able to natively find if it's him, but I feel like I should be checking null pointer. It should natively check null pointer, but just in case. And then on the update animations, I need to get the direction from the player. So I'm going to do a private function. So I have the general speed value is in air, and I want to get the direction from the player. This is going to be a very convoluted way of doing it, but I just want to make sure it works. So I'll just do an int for the direction. And I'll make a function in here. Let's do a void. And I want to, actually this needs to be a, needs to be an int, get direction. Get player facing direction. Currently the way that the direction is set up is it's a enum. That enum is encapsulated inside Selden. So I need to extract that from Selden. So really, this seems like something that this function seems like it should exist on Seldon. So I'm going to go over to Seldon. Where are you at? Where's your CPP? I guess I'll just go and make a here's player state, and I'll do an E facing. Get facing direction, which will return I was going to do a switch. A switch makes the most sense, but it's more to write. You know. I should have a variable called facing. Right. Right is the positive direction. Listen, C++. You need to case those better. Since I'm returning an integer, I'll make this an int. But this needs to be something. So Seldon E facing, I should have a facing variable. I should be allowed to call that. Let me go to the spot where we make functions. This has to be a public function because they need to have access to it. So this will be void int, or sorry, int get facing direction. How come this variable is not showing up? Did I spell it wrong? No. It is available. I was allowed to switch states. Let's go up and see. The enum, so UT8, yeah, unit 8, yeah, that's correct on both accounts. Oh, it's lowercase. Okay, so now it's not lowercase. Why are you broken? Get facing direction. Get FACING DIRECTION. There we go. I was mad because that was broken. Alright, and then from there, on the animation instance, the direction variable that's in here needs to be set to I keep fighting with two different paradigms. So in Unity, the naming convention is all variables are lowercase, or they're camel case. In Unreal, they're generally all uppercase, except for booleans that get a lowercase b. It's fighting with two different paradigms. Why are you failing? Pointer reference incomplete. Okay, that makes sense. Include characters. Now why are you mad? That's AWOE. AWOEPV, that looks correct. SELDIN looks correct. Back over here. AWOEPV underscore SELDIN. That looks correct there, but this is okay here. I think IntelliSense is just being silly. No, it broke. Hashtag include characters slash WOEPV underscore SELDIN. I think IntelliSense is just being silly. And it's acting like it's gonna hang. CHARACTERS. Everything looks like it's spelled correctly. Unless there's an error in here that I didn't see. It says ready. There we go. You're a liar. I'm gonna steal it. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Oh, I had to go up a level. I had to go up to the main folder, that's why. Alright, so on this run, I'm going to check to see if Selden loads into the slot when play happens. If so, then I can go set up a button and then have that change the direction. I haven't even hit play yet. I should be able to pull that out of there, no problem. Exception thrown. Read access violation. This was a null pointer. But why? That doesn't make any sense. It's just an enum. I haven't done anything yet. Like, this shouldn't even happen until I hit play. Let continue. It's gonna keep throwing. I fail to understand, sir. My guess is this is trying to run this, but it shouldn't be running it until I hit play. Jer Bear's a big kitty. Alright. Yeah, that's weird. I understand that it's getting a null, but it shouldn't be trying to read that value. This should not be running. Unless native runs... where you at? One thing I think of is that's running I'll just do a check. Now it won't flag. Oops. Let's not do a hot load. Instead, let's do a stop and start. And while I'm here, I'll go to the inputs on here. Where is, we do left. I have an is facing right, but I also will do a player Really, I should have a function for these to be called, but I'm just going to modify direct, and then I'll just... so if left has been started, then yes, and then on the right, is there no right? There it is. Just so I get an update on it. In theory, this should not die. It didn't die, that's a good sign. And then if I hit play, he's facing me for some reason. Let's go to the animation instance. The direction needs to come from the variable direction. It is blueprint read, correct? Direction at anywhere blueprint read only. So I should be able to read it in blueprint. Yay. He is kind of outside the capsule, but it's whatever. I should adjust the camera. Make it less up his butt. Let me open up the original. That's going to be in where are you located? This might take a minute to load. But I'll see where the original camera was. And I'll set that as the default. I'll probably do 3 camera settings. A close one like this, a far one, or a normal and then a far. I'm tempted to do like a free look camera, but it's supposed to be, you know, a side scroller kind of game. So if you free look camera, you're gonna see all the broken of the world, because not everything's gonna be filled in. So I don't know, but Sometimes it's kind of cool just to see that stuff. Hi, Dear Bear. You have the dirtiest beans. You have not cleaned your beans. %. Come on now. Let's look at the camera for this. Blueprints, character, camera. This camera. Where are you at? This is pretty far away. What is my... Z offset's 100. What is it set to in here? Things disappear on this list all the time. There it is, camera. Follow distance I have set to 300. And then min and max follow distance. What about the height? Y offset, I'm up 500. I have these backwards. Z is my height, and Y is my distance. And then I want to be up about 100 units. So I'm gonna have to break that value. Darn. Because now I gotta be speckle. So in here, I need a float X. We can get actor location. My brain just froze. It's alright. Alright. We're not using this one. Crap. Set actor location is going to be the player location. My brain's not mathing. I could do it in a second step. I can have this run once and then call each separate position and offset again. I don't want to do a two-step though. Basically this. Well, can't tell if it's because I'm tired or because I'm just dumb, but I am not seeing that. Yeah, I'm just not mathing. I can do it in a second step. My brain's not mathing to do it in a single step. And then the current position that I am at, it would be an F vector. But I would have to call this stuff afterward. When I'm less tired, it'll be like, oh, well, that was obvious. I'm stupid, but it's whatever. Looks about right. To do it in a single step, it's this vector minus that vector. And then we would add on plus f vector. I'll do it this way. This one. That's a jerk. There we go. Theoretically, it would be that. And I shouldn't hard code the value. I should make a camera height or a Z offset or whatever you want to call it. But there we go. Yay. Okay, so that's working. I think it's safe to close down this one. And if you look at the math here, that's basically what I did. I did my subtraction. I passed in the camera's X, my Y offset, and the camera's Z offset. Okay, So that seems like it's working out. Let's go to the turning animation. That would be under motion capture, cleaned. Oh, that's under raw. Clean, that I'm using version 2. I'm gonna go to the baked one. I can't go to baked. Darn. Let me go to the original. They should have the feet in the correct position, but there's no baking. Okay. I'm going to hide these skeletons. There's a skeleton inside us. Oh, could you imagine? Okay. So now I need to be at position 200. And I need to go to how far? Oh, you're a jerk. Selection set. Let's get the FK. We'll select all. So we're going to 200, and we want to be how far are we going? 200 to 300, it looks like, is how long it takes to turn. 200 to 300. So 100 frames. So this is one of those where it's going to be a bit tricky. But I'm going from here, turning. And down. The reverse looks a bit weird. Turning in, flat, turning out, and down. It's because I reset the foot here. I'll probably not reset the foot. This one's turning in. So for this to work, let's make sure that his head doesn't... Something's head does some weird stuff, and that hand does a weird thing. I'll have to go fix that. How badly do I want to fix this before I test it? I mean, for testing purposes, I can send this out, but I'll have to fix it. How fast is this transition? Sadly, though, I can't just run it backwards. I mean, I can. It just looks weird if I run it backwards. Shift foot down, back foot out. It's because that foot resets. If I don't reset that foot, I might be able to get away with it. But then going back, the weight shift looks slightly unnatural. Alright, and then the remaining bit is from... Oh, there's an idle here, that's why. And then the remaining bit is him turning back around. Okay. Could take me a while to actually fix that, though. I think I'll fix that when I'm conscious. But I do want to test this. So we'll take this bit. We will export. Oh, I need to take the main root here. I didn't bake it. These are going to jitter because I'm not matching the feet. But I'll bake. This is idle, turn right to left. New scene. We'll save here. Open. Actually, we want to import this. I guess I can remove that namespace in the previous file, but it's okay. I'll remove it here. Windows, general editors, namespace editor. We'll grab you, delete, and merge with parent, and rebake or re-export. Now I'll go back. I don't want to play it in reverse. Instead, I'm just going to go get the one for that ending bit. And I want to view where? From 200. I want to be at 400 through 480, it looks like. It looks like the turning back is a little bit faster than turning the one way. But probably because that foot resets. If I don't reset that foot, I can probably cut it down. So 400 to 480. So 400 to 480. So from here, you know what I did? I baked the skeleton, and then I saved it because I was stupid. So what I need to do is select all the bones for this skeleton. And go into the animation and nuke it. This is why you shouldn't work when you're tired. That's a huge mistake. That can be a bit of a setback for me. Yeah, because the whole rig is broken at this point. Darn, darn, darn. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the main rig. I might be able to salvage that in the human IK. The source should be... here. Nope, that's totally broken. That's running, but it's not influencing any of the joints. Crap. That still has influence, but these are all wiped. What I can try is saving out an oopsie. And then reload the file. That's busted. Oh, that's frustrating. I do have the other one, but that one's got a bake on it, so let me take a look. This is the baked one. I didn't save over the old baked, I saved over this one. This one's got baked stuff on it. Which means I'll ignore the rig at this point. Let's go to this. Man, I liked that one too. I made the stupid mistake of saving it. That's why I have copies, but okay. If I open this up and I open the skeleton and I select you, I should have properties on there. These all should. Where's the general editor? Graph editor. Right, these should all be blank. It makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and bake down a bunch of these joints. Cool, and then if I were to nuke the animations nuke, but I lose those influences. What I can try is reloading the reference. Does that restore? That looks like that worked. Although these ones are broken. I don't know if those ones were always broken. So I'll reload the file and take a look. All right. Weird. Alright, so I'll go back to this one. And that one looks like it's running. Those have animations on them. So I'll grab all the animations. Next, let me see if I can just reload the reference. See if it'll nuke the baked stuff. Animations are still there. So let's grab all of it again. I have to clear out that. The reload is not running. Huh. And I can't go back to undo that. That really sucks. I like that animation. Oh. Reloading the reference not working. I'm not sure what else to do there. Totally foobars that file. I mean, that guy still has that. And this one still has that. I do have a backup under the raw section. Which one is this that I'm working on? It is idle stance. Oops. I don't know which one it is though. I can try raw O2. The big difference here is I did a bunch of cleanup on the other one. Because, you know, you can see he's kind of jank. Like that hand is broken, his head is twisted, his spine's twisted. That's a lot of cleanup I gotta do. There might be another way of restoring it. I just can't think of another way. I'm looking for the phone. Phone's over here. Let me see what options are available. Yeah, I'm not sure why restoring the rig doesn't bring that back. Let's see what the Autodesk community has to say. What did I say? Definition of insanity. We'll go back. Because he's really just... That's a lot. It's not too bad. But, you know, getting to this point, where the animations weren't totally foobar, you know, was good. But that hand being screwy. Anyway. J Bear. At least let me put a blanket down before you start tearing into my thighs here. What is it you want? J Bear wants attention. That's what she wants. J Bear, I think I'm allergic to cats. See? Totally allergic to you. Alright. What was I at? 400 to 480. So, that's interesting. It does pop him this way. I wonder if there's something that is still baked. Yeah. So this part of the skeleton is still baked. What's kind of got me in this bit of a funk, though, is the point of using a reference is I can reload the reference. The reference is not reloading on that. The connections are broken here. And since I saved and closed the file, I can't undo. But I probably can't go through the process of reattaching the controls anyway because I'm on a referenced file. You can't make major changes on a reference. So why can't I reload that? That's bothersome. It's the whole point. Hmm. I know the answer to nuking those. Although I could have sworn when I tested it on the earlier file that got reloaded. Let me try reloading this part of the reference. Nope. Totally screwed. Oh well. I mean, I will cry over this spilled milk when I wake up in the morning. For now, I'm going to jump over here. And let's grab animations. And I'll bring in... Where are you at? You are in... You know, I might actually have... Nope. I moved it all. I can check the autosaves file. Nope, because Maya sucks at autosaving. We'll go to here. Exported. Connect El Skeleton. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to simply reverse this. No, because... Whoops. Whichever the default is. Let's see, let me see his idle. When I'm playing the game, he's facing this way, right? This would be facing to the right. So we have this. But from here, he's got that. So the other leg's forward. So this is his, I'll pause. Left leg is forward. When he turns, right leg is forward. So when I do a 180 flip on this one, it's the other way. I can try a negative scale. He might just be inside out. Yeah, he died. He died a horrible death. Which is why I need the one where he goes the other way. I can't just flip him. They'll look silly. I mean, I can do it, but he'll just pop. Alright. There he is, broken. So facing to the right goes here. I don't really have a facing to the left, but what I can do is I can go get a really bad copy. So I'll jump into here. Let me go get the raw. Well, which one was that? It was raw. I don't remember which one. Remember which one? Was it stance raw 02? Or was it stance raw left? Or is it stance raw right? I'll go to stance raw right. Well, that can't be it. He's way over there. Stance raw left. That one's okay. It has to be raw. Let's try raw 2. Yeah, that looks closer to what he is. Let's go. Select these. Oh, jeez. This has not been cleaned at all. That's why it's called raw. I was gonna go pull it from the raw and just wing it, but it's not even. I'm gonna have to manually go through and figure out where it's at. How many of these are there? This goes from frame 0 all the way up to frame 1521. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up to 1521. I'll find it. I'll Liam Neeson. So it looks like 13 1397 to 1521. Sure. I'm gonna bake it, but I'm gonna make sure I don't save it this time. Let's select the root skeleton. Go all the way down to the end of this stupid thing. Key, we will bake simulation. It's a lot of keys. Grab the root, export the root. This will be left to right. By the way, like, I really only have to do animations so that they look good from one view. I don't really have to make sure the animations look good from all 360. If you look at some Pixar, Disney animations, they only make them look good in that one frame. If you look at them from other frames, they look pretty messy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this scene. No, I'm not saving. That was my mistake. I saved over it. I need to import the file. Import left to right. And I will extract the namespace. General editors, namespace editor. We will remove the namespace. It's a lot of frames. This is left to right. Export. So on this, going the other way might take a minute. Okay. On the animation blueprints, let's go there. I'm gonna make a transition. I don't know how these transitions are going to work. I just want to make sure they're going to be passable. In this case, I'm not going to do a blend space. What I will do is let's break this one. That's what was originally there. He defaults facing right, so I'll get idle right. Let's go back to the graph. I'll make this. idle right. And this is idle right to left. And then we have from there idle left. And then we go back to idle. This is idle left to right. And I might be able to make a blend space out of this to handle this, but for now, there's my right. And this is turn right to left. That one's dead. Turn right to left. And this is idle left. And this is turn left to right. Okay. The transition is going to be direction. Oh, okay. Equals 1. This is not going to be concrete. I'll change it at some point. And then this is when it's finished, a time remaining ratio. Less than or equal to, we'll say 0.1. And then this one, oops. So here to there, yes. And then this one is going to be get direction. This needs to be equal to, we set it, what, -1? For the other way, so -1. And then the transition there is going to be from here going back to there. Going back to there is going to be a time remainder ratio. Less than or equal to 0.1. All right, so that should get me able to turn left to right, right to left. You see how that forces him to be in a certain posture, though? And I have these backwards. But that's the general idea, is when I hit one key, I should go this way. When I hit the other key, I should go that way. But he should be a lot faster. You know, I can't take 3 seconds to turn. Player would be very bored. I should be able to just flop between these. You should be like... So... idle to the right. That looks correct. Right to left. Left to right. Weird. So the other option I can use is try to do a blend shape. Or a blend space. Excuse me, wow. So this very simply, he's here, or he's there. And this is 0. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, I don't think that was gonna work out for me. The thing that I tried was getting... Man, that's annoying. Was getting the character mesh and manually rotating it. But I had to try to find the last frame and then update the frame to push them into that. And it never happens fast enough. I could do it on a notify and have the notify if it's in the correct facing direction. But anyway, I think I'm good for now. I'm going to cry a little bit because I broke the animation. I have to go fix that by hand again. That took a little while. But it is doable. Anyway, Hoodle, I'll catch you guys later.